of students residing in the University of Tehran dormitory staged a protest. The demonstrations erupted in response to the murder of Amir Mohammad Khalaqi, a 19-year-old undergraduate business administration student at the University of Tehran's Faculty of Management, who was killed by robbers and assailants. Two British nationals, a man and a woman, have been arrested in Kerman on security-related charges. According to the Public Relations Office of the Public and Revolutionary Prosecutor's Office of Kerman Province, the British ambassador to Iran, Hugo Shorter, recently met with the two detainees at the prosecutor's office. The report does not disclose their identities, whereabouts, or further details about their case. The Islamic Republic has a history of taking foreign nationals as hostages on baseless charges such as espionage and collaboration with hostile governments, using them as leverage against Western countries. Farshad Momeni, a left-leaning economist affiliated with the Islamic Republic, has acknowledged that 25% of Iran's total population resides in informal settlements. He further stated that since 2022, the number of people living in poverty has surpassed 25.6 million. This revelation underscores the deepening economic crisis in Iran, where rising inflation, unemployment, and inadequate housing policies have pushed millions into precarious living conditions. The Director General of Secondary Education at the Ministry of Education of the Islamic Republic of Iran has confirmed a teacher shortage across all provinces, with Tehran experiencing the most severe crisis. Nader Karimi Beiranvand stated that the shortage is not limited to underprivileged areas. Rather, the demand for teachers has surged nationwide due to the increasing number of students at the secondary level. While efforts have been made in recent years to address the issue by hiring new teachers, the problem persists. He also mentioned ongoing initiatives to fill the gap, including hiring part-time teachers, increasing teachers' working hours, and recruiting new educators. In some urban areas, the crisis has become so severe that classrooms are overcrowded, negatively impacting the quality of education. Hamid Peyravi, Vice President of Iran's Scientific Society for Suicide Prevention, announced that the country's suicide rate has risen by 51% between 2016 and 2022. According to him, over 79,000 people attempted suicide in 2016, while this number surged to more than 120,000 in 2022. Additionally, over 6,000 individuals lost their lives to suicide that year. These statistics, recorded in the Ministry of Health's database, cite economic hardships, unemployment, the housing crisis, and mental health disorders as key contributing factors to the rise in suicides. According to official reports, 14,945 people lost their lives in traffic accidents during the first 9 months of last year. This figure is nearly equivalent to the total number of fatalities from road accidents in 2016. Additionally, over the past 3 years, more than 54,000 people have died in traffic accidents. In 2023 to 2024 alone, more than 391,000 individuals were injured in road crashes, marking a 5.9% increase compared to the same period last year. Traffic accidents remain one of the leading causes of death in Iran, while no official report has detailed the causes of these incidents. Factors such as vehicle quality, road conditions, and enforcement measures have been cited in various assessments as contributing factors. Mona Bakhtiari, sister of the late Puya Bakhtiari, one of the victims of the November 2019 protests, has announced that her mother, Nahid Shirpishe, has attempted suicide in prison. In a post on her X account, she wrote, "Today, after 3 weeks of no news from my mother, we found out that she attempted suicide in prison last Tuesday and was transferred to solitary confinement." The Bakhtiari family had repeatedly warned about the inhuman conditions and mistreatment of Nahid Shirpishe in Zanjan prison. Mona Bakhtiari added, "My mother can no longer endure prison and her life is in danger. We demand her immediate release. The Islamic Republic will be responsible for anything that happens to her." After her son Puya Bakhtiari was killed by security forces during the 2019 protests, Nahid Shirpishe was continuously harassed, detained, and summoned by security agencies. Last year, she was arrested alongside a group of grieving families seeking justice. While many of the detainees were later released, the Revolutionary Court of Karaj sentenced her to 5 years in prison. The mother of Arsham Rezai, a monarchist political prisoner held in Qazl Hazar prison, has announced via an Instagram post that her son has been transferred to solitary confinement. She stated that Mr. Rezai was placed in solitary as punishment for protesting the repeated disconnection of his phone calls. This transfer comes despite his urgent need for medical care and endoscopy. Reza Mohammad Hosseini, a monarchist political prisoner held in Qazl Hazar prison in Karaj, has gone on a hunger strike in protest against the cutoff of his phone access and his transfer to solitary confinement. His supporters expressed concern over his well-being, emphasizing that this move is yet another instance of repressive measures against political prisoners in Iran. Reza Shafakhan's attorney announced that Mr. Mousavi was detained nearly 2 months ago at Mehrabad airport and is still in limbo. Mr. Shafakhan stated that Mousavi's X account had been under surveillance for about 6 months, leading to his identification. He was then arrested on December 18th at Mehrabad airport while preparing to travel to Kish. He has been in temporary detention since, leaving his family deeply concerned about his condition. As of the time of this report, no information has been obtained regarding the reasons for his arrest, the charges against him, or his place of detention. Citizens of Iraq held a protest against the burning of mazut at the Shazan power plant, which has caused severe air pollution in the city. Frustrated by the worsening air quality and its impact on public health, protesters gathered to voice their concerns and demand immediate action. The continued use of mazut, a highly polluting fuel, has led to hazardous levels of smog, raising alarm among residents about the long-term consequences for their well-being. Nurses, medical staff, and emergency personnel in Mashhad held a protest in front of Imam Reza Hospital, demanding that their unmet demands be addressed. These healthcare workers, who have been at the forefront of the country's health crisis, are protesting against low wages, delayed payments, poor working conditions, and lack of government support. Despite their vital role, authorities have failed to fulfill their promises, leaving many healthcare workers struggling with financial hardships and burnout. Saturday, February 15th, retirees from the oil industry gathered in front of the Ministry of Oil to protest the non-payment of their legal rights and entitlements. The demonstration is part of the ongoing wave of protests by retirees across various sectors in Iran, demanding fair wages, proper pensions, and financial security amid rising inflation and economic hardships. Despite years of service in one of the most profitable industries in Iran, oil retirees continue to face neglect and economic injustice. On February 16th, a group of retirees and pensioners under Social Security in Shush held a protest gathering to demand higher pensions and express their frustration over worsening living conditions. The demonstrators emphasized that their current benefits are inadequate to meet their basic needs amid rising inflation and economic hardship. They called on the authorities to fulfill their promises and implement fair wage adjustments to ensure a decent standard of living for retirees. A group of retirees and pensioners from Isfahan Steel Company staged a protest gathering to demand an increase in their wages and to voice their grievances over deteriorating living conditions. The protesters criticized the government for failing to address their economic hardships, emphasizing that their current pensions are insufficient to cover basic necessities amid rising inflation. They also called for fair adjustments to their benefits in line with the increasing cost of living. On February 11th, a group of National Housing Plan applicants in Qazvin held a protest in front of the governor's office. The protesters, frustrated by delays and unfulfilled promises, gathered to demand clarity and action regarding their housing allocations. Many have been waiting for years, facing financial strain and uncertainty as the project continues to be plagued by setbacks. A group of contract and project-based workers of Fajr Jam gas refinery located in the eastern part of Bushehr province staged a protest within the refinery premises. The workers gathered to voice their grievances over unpaid wages, job insecurity, and poor working conditions. Their demands reflect growing discontent among contract workers in the energy sector, who often face unstable employment despite working in vital industries. Wednesday, February 12th, workers of Zobahan Fulad Khazar staged a protest in response to the ongoing shutdown of the production unit of this industrial plant. Since the closure of the production unit, dozens of workers have been struggling with serious financial difficulties. The sudden loss of employment has placed immense pressure on them and their families, leaving them uncertain about their future. With no clear resolution in sight, workers are demanding immediate action to address their concerns and ensure job security. Thursday, February 13th, the national slogans Reza Shah Rest in Peace and From Dehdash to Tehran, My Life for Iran echoed through Ekbatan town in Tehran. These chants, often heard in times of political unrest, reflect the ongoing sentiments of defiance and national unity among protesters.
مرگ بر خامنه‌ای، مرگ بر دیکتاتور، رضا شاه روحت شد، رضا شاه روحت شد. 24 بهمن 1403. مرگ بر خامنه‌ای.